You're entering Sci-Fi Sunday on Z24 television.
You're watching Enterprise on Sci-Fi Sunday night?
I'm Kerry, that's Jeff. We're watching Star Trek reruns with you on a Sunday night. Which begs the question, who's the biggest loser here?
You!
That would be you. We're at least out of the house watching them. We're here at Burt's Tiki Lounge. Get your favorite beverage and drinking glass, because coming up in 25 minutes, we're going to teach you the Deep Space Nine drinking game.
And now let's get back to Enterprise.
It's Sci-Fi Sunday night.
Burt's Tiki Lounge doesn't miss SmackDown every Thursday on Z24.
You know, that was an excellent episode of Enterprise, don't you think?
Yeah, and you know, it got better the more I drank.
I noticed that too.
And you know what? You know what would make it even better?
More beer.
Or root beer.
That reminds me, it's time to teach you the Deep Space Nine drinking game. We're here at Burt's Tiki Lounge. This is Nicole. She'll be your bartender this evening. We're going to teach you the game right now. It's very simple. You watch any episode of Deep Space Nine, and you take a drink when the following things happen. So get your favorite glass and your favorite beverage ready. Here we go. Anytime a major character takes a drink, you take a drink. One shot.
Anytime a visiting ship fails to answer a communications hail, take one shot.
Anytime violence breaks out on the promenade, take one shot.
Anytime anyone wears a funny hat, take one shot.
Anytime someone gets their paw felt up, I'd take two shots.
Anytime Cisco lovingly fondles his ball,
Baseball.
oh, take two shots.
And finally, anytime that Julian and Miles exit the Hollow Suite, arguing like an old married couple, down the bottle, baby. I love her.
Anyway, those are just a few to get you started. We'll have more later in the show.
All right, tonight's Deep Space Nine episode is called Accession by Calvin Klein. Now, I want you to notice something here in the beginning of this episode. You got Miles and Julian. They spend an awful lot of time together. They dress exactly alike in this scene. They both have accents. And this line they're about to deliver about Jerry crossing the channel, is that code for something that I don't understand?
Nah. You're reading too much into it. Look at his apartment. It's way too messy for what you're thinking.
I guess you're right. All right, we're at Burt's Tiki Lounge. Let's start the drinking game. It's Sci-Fi Sunday night. Here's Deep Space Nine.
Don't move. We'll be right back with more Sci-Fi Sunday.
Hi, this is my friend Claire. Buckle up. It's Sci-Fi Sunday night.
I don't want to be the emissary. No, wait. I do want to be the emissary.
I'm just glad we don't have that caste system thing here on Earth. I mean, imagine your last name determining the path in life forever. I mean, what would your family lineage caste be?
We'd be cleaning toilets in the elementary school. What about you?
I'd be a pig farmer in Magna. That's not nearly as bad as a guy I know. His last name would determine that for the rest of his life, he would be bathing the elderly.
Ew. Anyway, in 15 minutes, more rules for the drinking game.
And Jeff here found one of the phony emissaries' lost poems, Godal's Lament, and he'll be reading it for you. Right now, we got to go back to Deep Space Nine. Dr. Bashir is going to explain to Captain Sisko what exactly an orb shadow is. I had an orb shadow once. 3 British guys appeared in my bedroom at midnight and taught me the true meaning of Christmas. I'm being followed by an orb shadow. Orb shadow, orb shadow.
Burt's Tiki Lounge doesn't miss SmackDown every Thursday on Z24.
Well, there they go. Off into the wormhole. One emissary, one would-be emissary in some sort of psychic steel cage match. Sisko's taking this guy in there, taking him for a ride, and then he's going to explain his position to him very, very carefully, if you know what I'm saying.
Two men enter, one man leaves. There can be only one emissary.
All right, we're here at Burt's Tiki Lounge in time for more rules in the Deep Space Nine drinking game. Now remember, this works in any episode of Deep Space Nine, and all you have to do is get your favorite beverage glass, and whenever these things happen in an episode, you take a drink. Nicole's your bartender this evening. Special vision from the prophets rules on this one. 1 shot per vision and 1 shot per person in each vision.
Now this is coming up in future episodes. Anytime Jake is blamed for Nog's misbehavior, take 1 shot.
Also, Anytime Morn is just about to speak, but then gets interrupted, take 2 shots.
Anytime Jadsia Dax gets into a sexual encounter, take 1 shot.
Anytime Worf says, "You would not understand," take a shot.
Anytime Odo grunts and rolls his eyes in disgust, take 1 shot.
And finally, anytime Dax kisses another woman down the bottle, baby. She does that so well.
Also, remember, never operate a runabout under the influence of Romulan ale.
All right, in about 10 minutes, we're going to be back, and Jeff has a very special poem from the fake emissary coming up. It's Deep Space Nine. We're at Burt's Tiki Lounge, and this is Sci-Fi Sunday Night.
You're entering Sci-Fi Sunday on Z24 television.
I knew all along that Cisco was the real emissary. You know how I knew? I've seen this episode. Now, this other emissary, he's a famous Bajoran poet. Jeff has found one of his long-lost poems, and he's going to read it for you right now. It's called Godal's Lament.
I don't know why I even bothered to come into work this morning. No one appreciates a damn thing I do. Woe is me. My nose bridge itches like hell. I must have slept on it.
That was beautiful. Coming up on tomorrow's episode of Deep Space Nine, we've got for you an episode called Rules of Engagement. Try to think of it as kind of a Klingon Perry Mason.
And like Perry Mason, you can expect the guilty party to confess in the final 10 minutes.
Then join us here next Sunday night for Sci-Fi Sunday Night as we bring you 2 more Star Trek reruns. We'll start with an episode of Enterprise, and I've forgotten which one it is.
Oh, it's the one where T'Pol looks real hot.
Uh-huh.
She and Trip argue.
Uh-huh.
And she doesn't understand human behavior.
That is my favorite episode of Enterprise, and we're going to see it next week. Also next week on Sci-Fi Sunday Night, we have another excellent episode of Deep Space Nine. It's called The Quickening. In it, Dr. Bashir learns to balance his checkbook and do his 1040A form using a computer software program. Oh, and Quark hatches a scheme.
Remember, listen to Kerry on X96.
Read Jeff in the Deseret News. Thanks to Burt's Tiki. Also, thanks to Janie Fleet. And join us next week on Sci-Fi Sunday Night. And remember, it's just a TV show.
Coming up on the next Sci-Fi Sunday.
We teach you how to get free comic books, and we kill the entire cast of classic Star Trek.
You killed Scotty! You bet!